So first of all, Mark, congratulations on 20 years at Higher Concept slash Point of Rental. Um, it's 20 years is time to do a lot of things. So can you give us like a quick um, little rundown of what you were doing before you got to Point of Rental?
Yeah, I mean, it's I started out from an early age. I always wanted to be in the army, so I spent 7 years in the army. When I left the army, which was in the late 80s, I always had attraction to the construction sector and the supply chain. So I went into the merchants and joined Juicens. So joined Juicens. That's kind of where I met our own Dan McKenna and Dave Roberts. And from there, I moved to Travis, and Travis Perkins was when I got into hire, into tool hire. Then from there, I went to Gamble's, which was plant hire, again with Dan McKenna. And then from there, 2004, I joined High Concept Software 20 years
Okay,
ago.
so well, I guess we'll have to talk about Dan later, but so you get to point of or you get to Higher Concept actually. What are you hired on to do at Higher Concept?
I came in to kind of help build the business. There was only three people in the business then, Bill, Katie, and Mike Tyrrell. Um, and that was the goal. We wanted to build the business. We had about 80, 90 customers back then. And the idea was to, grow the business. So that was my job with
Okay,
working with the team.
I was going to say, I assume with about three people, then you are wearing a lot of hats. You're doing a lot of things. I assume as a managing director, you're probably also handling a lot of things. So I guess what's been your career progression since you've gotten to Point of Rental? Or since you started at Higher Concept and with Point of Rental? Uh, what are some of the things that you've done, and like what are a couple of the highlights? I guess.
I suppose the highlights for me was we mostly, back then, we were just moving from version 2 to version 3, and version 3 supported multi location, so it enabled us to go for larger businesses. We also looked at expansion. So first we went into Southern Ireland, so we had to support multi-currency, and that was fun. And then we went to we got government support to go to the Middle East. So I spent probably a year, 18 months, spending pretty much 7 to 10 days a month in the Middle East, selling syrinx to our customers over there. That was exciting. Culturally very, very different. But that was a great experience.
Awesome. So yeah, sounds like you got to be a part of a lot of big growth, especially during that time frame. Third question is like, what's your favorite part of your current role as managing director at Point of Rental?
Um, Working with the teams, supporting our managers, our directors, working with customers. I probably one of the most enjoyable parts of my job is visiting, meeting, helping our customers.
Is there any particular aspect of helping the customers? I assume that you're able to provide help in many different ways, given that you are in control of a whole office. You do have an extensive history within the industry, so you clearly know what you're talking about, I guess.
Yeah, it's more, they will have challenges or they may be moving into a different sector, and it's just helping them where Syrinx and like our add-ons, like our mobile solutions can help them be successful.
Awesome. Okay, now one of the things I ask all of our new people is what's something outside of work that you're passionate about that you could talk about for a few minutes, um, that's not related to your job at all.
Uh, Probably my biggest interest is probably motorbikes. I've been into motorbikes since probably I was 11 when we used to, and I always enjoyed when I had more time to do my own maintenance, and it was always about tuning them up, trying to get more performance out of them. So I've spent years on motorbikes, different types of bikes. I now only down to one. I did get up to having like three, but I'm back down to one bike at the moment. Other than that, you know, I love food. I wouldn't say I'm a good cook. I don't think anybody. I think I'd be fully supported by everybody who knows me that I'm not a good cook. But yeah, food is another thing that interests me, especially with traveling. You know, visiting different cultures and experiencing their food.
Awesome. I do want to ask, what was your first motorbike?
So my first,
Your first motorbike. Everyone usually remembers their first.
my first proper bike, I was into air cooled, Yamaha air cooled two strokes. So it would have been an RDT50. Then I had a 400. I did before that when I was early on. People used to have mopeds, and when they finished with them, we would take them over, and that's when we would strip them down and ride them around the woods.
All right, I'm picturing a young Mark in a little moped gang, driving around the streets. Okay, now we have the questions for the people celebrating anniversaries. So, hmm, if you were to talk to a young Mark just getting into higher concepts 20 years ago, what advice would you give him?
Uh, be curious. Yeah, learn how software works. Learn how our customers use our software. Learn how the high industry works. Uh, would probably be something I would be telling myself. You know, it's important. Um, and speak to our customers. Here, ask them how they got into the industry because every story I've heard is always super interesting. Yeah, so yeah, learn about our customers, learn about our products, learn about how our products support the hire industry.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like it would be very useful for someone in your position, or really any position here at Point of Rental. All right. Well, thank you for working here for 20 years. I'm glad you progressed from um, figuring out how to work with the motorbikes to figuring out how to work with the software and a whole organization. Congratulations on 20 years, and hey, maybe another 20.